just the second ACC series these two teams have ever faced off in. It's time for Game 2 and a Saturday matinee after Notre Dame took the opener 6-2 last night. Again, on a sunny and chilly day at Frank Eck Stadium, I'm Jack Rinaldi alongside Chris Daly up here in the press box, and we are so happy to have you with us, Chris. Let's get right into it. Drew Berkland has been a guy Notre Dame has counted on all year, and he delivered yesterday.
Yeah, Jack, Drew Berkland 3 for 5 at the plate yesterday. 2 runs scored, 1 RBI, and the intensity that he's playing at right now is a whole different level. He's got a .483 batting average across the last 7 games. It's been a fine run of form for him as of late, and he is heating up here at the end of the year.
If it's the graduate student contributing for Notre Dame, it's the freshman contributing for Stanford. Teddy Tokheim has been their leader at the plate this season. You see the stats here among all Division I freshmen, near the top in all meaningful categories.
Yeah, well, Coach Esker sung his praise before the series, and Jack, the numbers speak for themselves. Tokheim, one of the best freshmen in the country, and what you don't see, he's got multiple hits in 9 of his last 17 games. He's a big reason why Stanford has been on a hot streak as of late.
He will face DJ Hellwig on the mound for Notre Dame today, making just his second start of the season. His start on Tuesday against Central Michigan was his first appearance in over a year.
Yeah, well, he's been battling through some injuries this season. Last year, though, north of just 20 innings pitched for Hellwig, 23 strikeouts in that time. He's got a real interesting frame. I mean, he's 6'6", and I'm sure he's real excited and real eager for this opportunity, his first ACC start of the season.
Big-time opportunity against a Stanford lineup that's headlined at the top of the order by Rintaro Sasaki. We discussed this yesterday. He's certainly not your prototypical leadoff hitter, but he gets on base a lot, and he's got some serious power.
Yeah, well, he is a big power guy. 14 home runs this year. That leads the team. He's well known for the long ball. Yesterday, 1 for 2 at the plate. The wind was a bit of a factor, so we'll see what he can do here today.
Hellwig's first pitch is a strike, and we are off and running for Notre Dame and Stanford. Game 2 here from Frank Eck Stadium. 1-1 after Hellwig's offering misses. It's another cool day in South Bend. 49 degrees the air temp, 39 degrees the feels like. Again, Chris, it's May 2nd here in South Bend, so not a wonderful air temp there as Sasaki's on to the leadoff single. He sees 3 pitches from Hellwig, and Stanford's got the leadoff batter on.
Well, much different than his first at-bat of the game yesterday. It was 1 pitch, popped it right up, and was out before this game really even got started, it felt like. So good for Sasaki to get on base there, and he'll be happy with that start.
One other note on the weather today, 11 miles an hour, the wind blowing in from the northwest, so that's in from left field here at Frank Eck Stadium, which is situated facing the northeast. He squared a bunt from Court McDonald. This is going to get Sasaki to second base, and Hellwig's throw is in time. Athletic play from the big right-hander, and there's 1 out here in the first.
Yeah, well, just mentioned it. Hellwig is 6'6", so it takes him an extra second, right, to get down, get that ball there. A nice bunt, well placed from McDonald, and he was close, sprinting, made it. A big effort there from McDonald.
McDonald was a big-time track athlete in high school, a sprinter in the 100 and 400, so he's got some serious speed, plays center field, and he was coming down that first base line quick. But a nice job from Hellwig, although McDonald does do the job of getting Sasaki over into scoring position. Here's Teddy Tokheim now with 1 out. He's ahead 1-0. And he bounces 1 foul down the third base line. Tokheim, a .359 hitter this season. OPS well over 1,100. He was 2 for 4 last night with a double and a run scored. And he's hitting .349 this season with runners on base. 1 out there now, and Sasaki at second. And he takes strike 2 on the breaking ball. Tokheim behind 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Hellwig. Did he get him? Yes, he did. Came around on the swing. Nice breaking ball from Hellwig, and there's 2 outs here in the top of the first.
Yeah, really nice movement on that pitch from Hellwig, and it's a great response after Sasaki was able to get on first, the first at bat. 2 quick outs and the first strikeout of the season for Hellwig.
Welcome sight for Hellwig. That's his first strikeout in over a year. Tokai gives way to Eric Gian, the second baseman. And Hellwig's first pitch will be a strike. Trani went down to first base for the appeal, and Gian went around. Gian, a transfer from Columbia prior to this season. Played a standout freshman year there before injury affected his year last year. 35 games played for Gian now with the Cardinal. And he's got hits in 15 of his last 17 games.
Yeah, and Eric Gian last week, walk-off against Florida State. The bottom of the 11th, he was robbed of a 3-run shot a bit earlier. He's been playing real well as of late.
1-1. And he swings and misses. Hellwig's got the slider working early, Chris.
Yeah, this is a welcome sight for Notre Dame's dugout right now, especially Sean Stifler. He wants to see what he can get out of his other arms, not named Jack Riddell, and so far so good for Hellwig.
1-2 pitch coming with 2 out. And got him swinging with the slider. Officially the longest outing of the year for DJ Hellwig. He delivers a scoreless first. We'll head to the bottom of the first after this. Stanford in the bottom half of the inning.
Yeah, O'Haron has improved a whole lot this year. Last season, a 7.27 ERA. Now he's down to a 3.95. You can see here he's got the fastball, the slider, and the changeup. Fastball tops at 91 miles per hour. He's one of the most reliable arms on this Stanford team.
And he's a very experienced arm. 81 career appearances for him, although making just his 6th start today. He'll face a Notre Dame lineup that did enough to get the win last night. Mark Quattrani, a big reason why. He had an RBI late in that game to pad Notre Dame's lead. You see his stats in the last 6 games. He's been on a heater, Chris.
Yeah, he really has, and he hasn't hit the home run in any of those games. He's a guy, man, you look at as a power hitter, but Quattrani really, realistically, just gets on base. That's his bread and butter, and he's done that as of late at a real high level.
Number of young players in the lineup for Notre Dame today. They've made some changes to the card. Brandon Logan in center field, as well as Dylan Passo at first, Jamie C at short, Mason Barth at third. Those are the true freshmen in the lineup today. But it will be the graduate student, Drew Berkland, who will bat first for Notre Dame. O'Haron has held opposing teams scoreless in 7 of his last 10 outings. His first pitch to Berkland upstairs. O'Haron started a week ago in a win against Florida State when he went 2 1/3 and allowed 4 runs, only 2 of which were earned. And he's behind 2-0 to the Irish leadoff man. Berkland great this year as the leadoff hitter in a given inning, 425 the average in that situation. And he takes outside, 3-0. If there's been one thing you can point to this year for O'Haron, it's been the walk to strikeout ratio, 14 walks to just 22 strikeouts. And he goes 4 straight balls to Drew Berkland to begin the bottom of the first.
Yeah, his ERA has sunk, as I mentioned earlier, Jack, but he hasn't really been finding the zone a whole lot more effectively than last year. It's kind of been his one fault and something he's, of course, continuing to work on.
Now it's Bino Waters at bat for the Irish. Went on a heater in April, hit well over 400 in that month. brought some of that momentum into last night. He waits on the first pitch from O'Haron. And now it's 5 straight balls to begin the game. Waters on base once last night with a walk. Always a guy content to wait for his pitch. And he takes a strike here, 1-1.
I mean, yesterday this was a problem for the Cardinal, though, right? Notre Dame were able to get walked 8 times. Meanwhile, Stanford only got on base via the walk 3.
And a big reason for that, obviously, Jack Riddell, who's made calling card his ability to throw strikes. But credit the Notre Dame pitching staff, not giving out those free passes. Waters waits on the 1-1. And takes a big cut at the fastball, 1-2. Berkland, a very effective running threat on first, 9 for 10 this year on stolen base tries. Has a healthy lead off first. Waters swings and misses at the off speed, and he goes down swinging for the first down of the day. Good pitch from O'Haron.
Yeah, perfectly executed from O'Haron. It was much needed. He got behind early. It was the same as the first at-bat, but able to get out of it. And it's a good little boost of confidence early on for him.
So here's Mark Quattroni. Berkland still on first. Quattroni 354 the average this season. Gonna check back to first. Quattroni got off to a really fast start this year, beginning his Notre Dame career with a bang after transferring in from Cornell. Chops one down the line to third. Moran is there, fires on to first, and it is not able to be dug out by Sasaki. The ball bounces into shallow right field. And after an error, Notre Dame will have runners on the corners.
Well, struggles continue for Stanford in the infield. Yesterday, 4 errors for this Cardinals squad compared to 0 for Notre Dame. It gave the Irish a whole lot of opportunities, which they were able to capitalize on later in the game, and it was a big reason why the Irish were able to inevitably come back in that game yesterday. And see it once more here at the top of the, or bottom of the first round.
Ground ball right side will score a run for Notre Dame, and the Irish are out to a 1-0 lead. Passo swings at the first pitch, and the ground ball out enough to score a run.
And that's what Notre Dame wasn't able to do early on yesterday, Jack. They really weren't able to capitalize until they finally put one on the board in the 5th. So finally they got the ball rolling. Dylan Passo able to just put the ball in play, get the job done.
Jace Lee now, the hometown kid from South Bend. Takes outside, ball 1. Lee was 1 for 4 yesterday with a walk. Check swing foul here. Ball, 1 strike, 1 on to number 1. And he takes outside, ball 2. Irish have scored 1 in the inning after a throwing error from Moran and an RBI ground out from Dylan Passo. Lee looking to add on here. And skies one into shallow right field. Gian going back, camps out under it, and makes the catch. Sign retired, but Notre Dame plates 1. They lead it 1-0 after 1 here in South Bend. Normally a bullpen arm, got the start today and did just that in 1 inning.
Yeah, really impressed with DJ Hellwig. Some of the plays he was able to make, just really athletic. You saw the bunt and how he was able to deliver there, and now it brings forth Xavier Hirsch, Jack.
Yeah, big right-hander, 6'5", 205. The senior from Texas has taken on a much bigger role this year as a senior. He'll likely go for a couple innings today and looks to hold Stanford where they're at right now.
Yeah, Hirsch this year, 34 and 1/3 innings pitched in that time. 31 strikeouts to 7 walks, so a good Ks to walk ratio, and just needs to deliver now, continue upon the ball that was set, or the standard that was just set in the first inning there by Hellwig.
He's allowed 18 runs in his last 3 games, but just 8 earned runs in that time span. Excuse me, he's allowed 10 runs in his last 3 games. And his first pitch in there for a strike.
You look back to his game against Florida State, though, just about 2.5 weeks ago now, 8 strikeouts. That was a season high for him. Just needs to channel that form here on the mound. It's a Stanford team that's been red hot as of late.
Yeah, career high for him as well in that Florida State game. He's made 3 starts in a row, so Notre Dame uses Hellwig as a bit of an opener today. Hirsch has started games against Virginia, Florida State, and Boston College last weekend. And comes in the second inning of this Saturday game against Stanford. This one misses inside, 1-2. Batter for Stanford is Jimmy Nadai, playing just his 4th career game in left field. He had a nice outfield assist to throw out Parker Brustevich yesterday. Did he hold back here? Yes, he did. 2-2.
And Nadai with a fantastic season a year ago. He was a preseason All-American second team for good reason. It's tough to match that level. He's dealt with a few injuries here and there. Had a real strong series against Florida State last week.
He waits on the 2-2 and fouls it off his leg. Remains 2-2. Nadai, a senior from Sydney, Australia, but moved to Atlanta when he was young and started playing baseball. Safe to say that decision worked out for him.
Yeah, and his brother also plays at Oregon State now, so real athletic family. 2 of them have had tons of success. They've actually played each other a bit earlier in the season as well. But you definitely don't see that every day, an Australian on the roster.
Yes, he's had a big-time career as just a young player. He's previously represented Australian youth national teams at various levels as he takes ball 3. So Hirsch goes ahead with 2 strikes, but Nadai has now battled back and the count is full. And he sends a sharp liner in the direction of Andrew Graham, and he snags it. Andrew Graham making his first positional start for Notre Dame today. The Division II transfer. He started games as a DH last night mainly, but he makes a nice play in the field here.
How about that for Andrew Graham? A real nice start for him. He's a D2 All-American. He's somebody who was expected to fight for that starting role, and late in the season, it appears Stifler has given him a big sign of trust.
Hirsch again delivers a first pitch strike. 0-1 pitch on the way and fouled back. Couple of defensive changes for Notre Dame today. We mentioned Andrew Graham making his first career positional start for Notre Dame. Also the freshman Brandon Logan in center, Jace Lee in right, and Drew Berglund in left. So a defensive-oriented outfield means Bino Waters will be the designated hitter today. Dylan Passo at first, Mason Barth at third, and Jamie Z at short. This one is past the diving Barth, and Stanford is on with a 1-out single. That time it was Charlie Bates, the shortstop.
To your point about some of these changes, Jack, it means that an already young Notre Dame team gets just a little bit younger. You especially look to Brandon Logan out in center. He's a dual sport athlete with football. He's a freshman this year, hasn't started a whole lot of games.
He was somewhat highly billed as a recruit, though. And while it might take some time to settle into ACC pitching, he's somebody that can absolutely make an impact defensively. That tends to be the case when you've got Power 5 ability at the safety position, which is what he does on the football field. Moran's ahead 0-1. And he lines one in the direction of Logan, who's going back. He falls down. This one's going to one-hop over the fence. Probably good for Notre Dame, as Moran's going to pull into second with an automatic double. Boy, that was a lucky break for Notre Dame, Chris, that ball jumped over the fence.
Yeah, really. Sometimes the turf and the surface plays a factor here at Frank Eck Stadium, likely does in this type of scenario for J.J. Moran, who I feel like I say with every single Stanford player, but has been playing real good baseball as of late. Wasn't his best day of the season by any means yesterday, so good for him to come up big here early on in this one as Stanford looks to respond after Notre Dame's strong bottom of the first.
And now immediately the first pitch turned around the other way, and Stanford ties the game. Luke Lavin, Chris, right on cue, another player who's been phenomenal recently. He leads the team in average in the last 10 games. Jumps on the first pitch and ties the game for the Cardinal.
Yeah, this is not what Notre Dame was hoping for as they put Hirsch in the game here, and it's a fantastic piece of hitting from Lavin, just able to slice it a little bit, leaves no chance for Notre Dame, and now mound visit for the Irish.
And a quick mound visit, going to check in with Xavier Hirsch. He's gotten one out, but has allowed some hard contact. Namely the double from Moran. And then a hard hit single from Luke Lavin. That ties the game.
And it's been the question for Notre Dame, right? You know, you got Jack Riddell, he's an ace, one of the best pitchers in the entire conference, one of the top strikeout getters, but besides Riddell, you know, where do you turn and what type of performances can you get?
If you can get contributions from the rest of the pitching staff, this is a young lineup, but it's a lineup that has generally performed this season. Question mark at times has been, though, like you said, Chris, who's going to be that guy other than Jack Riddell that's going to step up? That's not to say that members of the pitching staff haven't this season. Hirsch has been a guy that's had some good games. And some inconsistency has led Notre Dame to a little bit of a struggle here in the middle of ACC play. Philip Chong now the right fielder and number 9 hitter for Stanford. Squared to bunt that time and pulled it back. It's 2-0. So Luke Lavin, the catcher, on first. J.J. Moran at third. Two balls, no strikes, and 1 out. Chong's ahead 2-0. Takes away, it's 3-0. Real pitch on the way. And ball 4. 4-pitch walk issued to Philip Chong, and Stanford has the bases loaded with 1 out in the second inning.
Dream scenario for Sasaki. He had a grand slam in the Florida State Series. We've talked a whole lot about his power. Not the guy you want to see in the batter's box if you're Notre Dame.
Certainly not. And we talked about Tokai being the head of this Stanford snake. Sasaki, plenty of power atop the order as well. And when you can get him up in a situation like this with 3 runners on base, it is a dangerous situation. Hirsch behind 1-0. And Sasaki flies this one out to left field. Ranging back on the track is Berkland toward the fence. He couldn't find it in the sun. It bounces off the wall. 1 run is in for Stanford. 2 runs are in for Stanford. And the Cardinal lead it 3-1. Oh, wow, the graduate student just lost it up there in the sun.
Yeah, I mean, it is really bright out. We saw Stanford have some struggles in this exact area right there in left field yesterday. Notre Dame seemed to be fine, and early in this game, 2 issues in the outfield for the Irish. Stanford making pay.
So Stanford scores 2 runs on the fly ball to left. Sasaki now on first, Philip Chong on second. And Hirsch with a glance back to second base. This is Cord McDonald, the center fielder, who dropped a sacrifice bunt back in the first inning. Hirsch a throw back to second base and got him with the pickoff move. Chong had a big lead out there at second base, and Hirsch made him pay for it. 2 out.
I'll talk about responses. That's a nice one right there for Hirsch. Much needed.
No challenge from Stanford. And Hirsch's first pitch in there for a strike.
Make that 36 RBIs now in the season for Sasaki. That leads this Cardinal team.
0-1 to McDonald. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Wonder if maybe that good move back to second base gives Hirsch some confidence here.
Yeah, it's got it, right? It's, again, exactly what he needs in that moment. Couldn't have timed it up much better.
0-2. Bouncing ball through the left side, base hit. Sasaki's going to pull into second, McDonald into first with a 2-out single. And again, Stanford has 2 on. McDonald beats the big shift there, going the other way.
Well, the at-bat started off nicely for Hirsch. He gets ahead early, 0-2. Hasn't really been able to do that today. And then it's just the hitting and these bats of Stanford coming out bright and early in this one.
6 hits already for the Cardinal. They're 6 for 9 as a team.
Jack, you know how many hits they had yesterday?
6?
6.
Well, it was a bit of a strange game for Stanford yesterday. At one point, for a lot of the game, they had 5 hits and 5 doubles.
Yeah.
Today, it's been the singles, though, killing Notre Dame. Hirsch ahead 0-1 to Teddy Tokheim. And Tokheim skies one into shallow center field. Graham going out and makes the catch. Side retired in the top of the second, but Stanford plates 3 with some timely hitting. Notre Dame will bat next on the ACC Network Extra. Pac-12 championships, and he's headed a really successful program in his time there. He's 3 wins away from 300 career victories at Stanford, and well, he's not going to get to that this weekend. He's definitely going to get there this season, and for good reason. He's done a very good job throughout his entire career. Yeah, no doubt about it. Really impressed, too, how he's navigated that change from the Pac-12 to the ACC as well. It's a tough transition. Think about it. These guys are now traveling across the country a whole lot more than they were before, but Esker has really done a nice job at Stanford. He's one of the more experienced and top coaches here in college baseball. And he wasn't shy when we talked to him earlier this week about telling us how much the game has changed, even in his 9 years as the Stanford head coach. But he's a guy that struck both of us as someone that's excited about where the game is going, plenty of energy, and obviously does a great job leading his team. Yeah, no matter what, he seems like a glass half full type of guy, should I say. Really vibrant person, and someone the players want to play for. Able to recruit well in the state of California, get a ton of top recruits locally. Makes for a real strong team. Swing and a miss from Andrew Graham. First at bat for him today. Andrew Graham, the Metropolitan State University of Denver transfer. He was a first-team Division II All-American there last season. .446 batting average. And he swings and misses at the slider here. One out the bottom of the second.
Yeah, this is really nicely done from O'Haron. Just a movement on that pitch leaves no chance for Graham. And to your point, last touch of Graham before we move on here. 78 RBIs as well in that All-American season for him. Fantastic pickup for Notre Dame, and somebody who I'm sure will make an increased impact today.
Now it's the third baseman, Mason Barth. He had a big tie-breaking 3-run home run in the 7th inning last night. He takes on the inside corner, strike one. Chris, it was the bottom of the order that actually kick-started a number of rallies for Notre Dame yesterday, or at least put a number of traffic on the base pads.
Yeah, you look to Brustevich, who's not playing today, but he was batting 6th in the order yesterday. He got a number of rallies started, and Mason Barth, as you mentioned with the home run, that was a definitive shot of the game right there. Well, the reaction, too, from the dugout with Mason Barth. He's able to hit that ball. You see the excitement of the guys. It says everything you need to know about Mason Barth. He's one of the favorites on this team in the clubhouse.
He takes outside there. 1-2. Again, takes outside. Ball 2. Count even now. Two balls, 2 strikes to the third baseman. And he flies one into shallow right field. Chong coming in, under it, and makes the catch. Boy, that wind pushed the ball way down that right field line. Good job by Chong to make the adjustment. 2 out.
Yeah, that wind is really pushing into right field right now. It's not super friendly for the hitters. Not for the outfielders as well. You can see the flags there. Absolutely zipping.
And JBZ takes inside, ball 1. First at bat of the day for the Irish shortstop.
He was great in the field yesterday.
He was. He's a promising young player from Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey. Played at a very successful high school program in Bergen Catholic. And he's someone that's already made his mark in the field. Still adjusting a little bit to ACC pitching. But a guy that's certainly going to make an impact for years to come here in South Bend. Fouls one up over our heads and back into the parking lot. 2-2. One pitch on the way. Pulled down the line in left field. Will the wind pull it back fair? No, it will not. Two now for Z after the long foul ball. Two now to Z. Got him swinging, strike 3. Great pitch from Torin O'Haron. And Stanford keeps it at a 2-run lead. We'll head to the third after this. After 3 in the second inning today, they're now outscoring opponents 45-23. They put up 3 with 5 hits in the inning.
Yeah, they're really good at getting the fast start. It's been a big contributor to their success as of late. They'll be very pleased with that second inning. It was Sasaki who brought home 2 runs to end it for them.
First pitch from Hirsch in there for a strike. This is exactly the start David Esker and Stanford had to be hoping for after falling behind yesterday and ultimately losing that game. Jumping out to an early lead here is big. Hirsch misses outside. Ball one. One coming from Hirsch. The pitch chopped foul. Nice play by somebody in that Notre Dame dugout. Bare hand off the hop. 1-2. Eric Gian struck out swinging in the first. Waits on the 1-2. And again pulls it foul. It'll stay 1-2. Gian taking his time to get back into the box here. 1-2 coming from Hirsch. And again, the pitch pulled foul, but this time off of the Notre Dame dugout. And it stays 1-2. One-two coming. Corkscrew shot towards shallow right field. Passo going back and makes the catch. 1 out. Good job by Hirsch to stay in that at-bat after a couple foul balls from Gian.
Yeah, I mean, that's the professional at-bat you're talking about, right? You'd like to come out with a better result for Gian, but well done on both sides there. And now for Stanford, this is an interesting game, Jack. You look at the big picture at the ACC tournament coming up. They really need a win. And you talk about these fast starts that they've had. Critical for them to keep it up here in the top of the third is trying to seek that bye, get to the 8 seed. They're at the 10 right now.
Jimmy Nadi now, the left fielder. Hard line out to second base in his first at-bat of the game in the second inning. And the count 1-1 after the inside fastball from Hirsch. One ball, one strike, 1 out. Hirsch comes home and misses inside, ball 2. The senior Nadi steps in and bounces it foul. Two balls, 2 strikes. Still 1 out in the inning. Nadi waits on the pitch from Hirsch. And grounds it through the right side for a base hit. Good at bat from Jimmy Nadi to end up with a single. Stanford's got 1 on with 1 out.
And now they officially have 7 hits today. That outdoes their tally yesterday. Granted, Jack Riddell was on the bump for the Irish. We talked about him, one of the best arms in the conference. But regardless, coming out firing here on Saturday.
Charlie Bates now, the shortstop. Singled back in the second inning. Nadi Nadi, a decent threat to run. 7 stolen bases and 8 tries this year. And he hops off first base, trying to get a bigger lead. Hurst checks back, but Nadi under the tag. Stanford trying to add to an early 2-run advantage. It was this bottom of the order that did some work against Hurst in the second. Trying to do the same here in the third. Nice fastball there. It's 0-2. Two strikes for Charlie Bates. He waits on the pitch and fouls it off. Stays 0-2. One on, one out. No balls and 2 strikes to Charlie Bates. And he takes low, ball 1. Bates waits on the 1-2 and lines it into right field. Another base hit. Nadi's going to go first to third. Big arm Lee's got a shot to get him, but the throw cut off, and Stanford's got runners on the corners with 1 out.
Well, there's the speed on wide display from Jimmy Nadi. You mentioned he's one of the top, or one of the fastest guys on this team, and Charlie Bates, who has got to be cooling off at the plate as of late. Able to produce a nice third inning knock for the Cardinal. And here's Nadi, absolutely flying on the base paths.
He was moving, and he had to know right off the bat that he was going first to third there, because Lee has a great arm in right field. And it wasn't close with the throw that time. So 1 out and runners on the corners for J.J. Moran. He doubled in the second. Charlie Bates now 3 for 5 with a walk in the series. First pitch to Moran, outside, ball 1. Hurst trying to navigate himself out of trouble. Irish have their middle infield back at double play depth. And a liner into left field. Berkland going back, picks it up. Nadi will tag, and no throw from Berkland. Stanford leads it 4-1. A lot of hard contact from the Cardinal right now.
Yeah, that's the execution that Esker was looking for from his guys. It's a young team, but hey, just put the ball in play. Let's be smart here. Jimmy Nadi knows exactly what the goal is from there. Dream start for the Cardinal after a tough day at times yesterday, especially in those later innings. Weren't really able to generate much. It's definitely the response they were dreaming about last night.
Absolutely is. So now 1 on and 2 out for Luke Lavin. He takes outside, ball 1. Lavin singled in the second. Picked up an RBI on that hit. Again, among Stanford's hitters, he's been the best as of late. Coming into the weekend, he was .421 in their last 10 games.
A real stretch from him, and how about this? Just the bottom of the order. I mean, you really go to Nadi, bat 5th, all the way to Lavin here in 8th. Every single guy in that bunch has a hit. Nadi 1 for 2, Bates 2 for 2, Moran 1 for 1, and you get Lavin right now 1 for 1 earlier, looking to expand that here.
Yeah, Stanford's 5 through 8 hitters today are 5 of 6 combined. Sasaki and McDonald also a combined 3 for 3 at the top of the order. Hirsch flips on to first. And there's 3 outs here in the third, but Stanford gets another. The lead now 3 as we head to the bottom half of the third inning. Of year when his teams have played their best baseball. They closed the year on a 16 of 19 game heater last year. And they're undefeated in May so far, Chris. Although they've only played
exactly.
one game.
Only one game, but you know they'll take that, and they'll be happy with the win yesterday. And you go even to his days at VCU, right? And this is a team that ascends late, and Sean Stifler has a real young squad right now. So they've gained tons of good experiences throughout the season, and finally all the puzzle pieces are coming together right now here in May for the Irish.
A great part about the ACC is that everybody makes the tournament. And in baseball, anything can happen in one game. So certainly a run, something that's possible for Notre Dame as we look towards the postseason. And the Irish's RPI is certainly in the range of a team that could make the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, well, prior to this series,
pick up some wins to do
yeah,
that.
75 in the RPI standings, and you got to think with a series win over Stanford, they shoot up a bit more and a few more games to close out the year. No reason why they can't sneak into it.
Stanford, another team that's looking to make the NCAA tournament. They haven't missed it for 3 consecutive years in 45 years since 1980. And they missed the tournament in 2025 and 2024. So they're looking to get back to the postseason. If they could work their way up to 8th in the ACC, that would give them a first-round bye in the ACC tournament and set them up a little better to make a run. So 2 teams here with big hopes of reaching the postseason. This is Brandon Logan, the center fielder now in there for Notre Dame. He's behind 1 and 2. He takes low, ball 2.
Yeah, Stanford 10 and 12 in the conference. NC State, who's at that 8th spot right now, 11 and 12. So they're neck and neck. A win today would be crucial in their quest.
Logan grounds the 2-2 to third. Moran is there, fires across the diamond, 1 out. So after he makes the throwing error earlier, Moran responds nicely to get the first down. And Logan runs well, Chris. That's not an easy play.
No, not at all. And a relatively quick at-bat as well, which O'Haron will be glad about. Wants to keep his arm fresh.
Berkland now. Swings and misses, 1-1. Berkland led off the game for Notre Dame with a walk and then advanced on an error.
And one last note for O'Haron, who's on the mound right now for the Cardinal. He's tied his season high in terms of innings pitched, 2 1/3. 18 appearances for him. Doesn't go for too long typically.
Well, this is more in line with what Stanford has come to expect from Torin O'Haron this season. He's held opposing teams scoreless in 7 of his last 10 outings. Although last week he allowed 4 runs against Florida State, and like you said, Chris, 2 1/3 as Berkland weaves and misses at the high fastball.
Granted, that Florida State team was top 10 at that point for good reason, right? One of the premier units in the country.
2-2 to Berkland. This is low and away, ball 3. Dame has Bino Waters on deck. Mark Quattrani in the hole here with 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd. Stanford has 1 arm warming up in their bullpen, a left-hander. And Berkland grounds one towards the left side. Bates is there, throws on to first in time. 2 batters, 2 ground outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. And Berkland's retired. Waters now, starting as the designated hitter today. He was in left field yesterday. He struck out in the first inning. He takes ball one here.
Bino was 0 for 4 yesterday at the plate, but he was 4 for 8 at the plate in the midweeks against Central Michigan and Milwaukee.
Waters fights one off foul. O'Haron has retired 7 straight batters here, since conceding the leadoff walk to Berkland and then the error to Quattrani. Irish have gone down in order since. 1-2. And this is low. 2-2. And Waters swings and misses. 8 up and 8 down since the first inning for Tor and O'Haron. Stanford maintains a 3-run lead. Their hit total yesterday, and we're just 3 innings in.
Yeah, unreal the transformation that we've seen in just less than 24 hours from the Cardinal here. It's a testament to the staff, but then also these players. They're coming out firing on all cylinders.
This is Philip Chong, now the right fielder, who walked in the second. He bounces one foul down the third baseline. It's 0-2. Stanford still leading 4-1. They got to Hirsch early in his outing. And a swing and a miss here from Chong.
Yeah, we mentioned this stat a bit earlier, but just to have an update on it. The 5 for 8 hitters, 5 for 7 at the plate, so getting tons of production from the bottom of the order. Philip Chong. Here, the 9th hitter of the day for the Cardinal. Looking to add to that tally.
They got this one topped foul. Stays 0-2. Taro Sasaki will bat next for Stanford. Chong was 0 for 1 yesterday. Came into the game as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning. It's part of Stanford's last gasp effort. And this one gets through for a base hit. Chong has now reached safely in both of his plate appearances today. He's got himself a single and a walk, and Stanford has the leadoff batter on here at the top of the 4th.
Yeah, now all but 2 bats on the Stanford team have notched a hit early in this one. Philip Chong hasn't played a whole too lot, comes into a big ACC series against the Irish here, and he's stepped into a big role as well. I mean, he's placed in some tough spots. He's made good work of it.
He hasn't played a ton, but he's been relatively impactful in the times he has played. He had a hit and a walk-off win over UC Davis on Monday. He didn't register a hit in that one at-bat yesterday, but now has been on both times today. Sasaki drills one, but foul. Tell you what, Chris, he's seeing the ball well today.
Yeah, really well. You hear the pop, too. The power on this guy is out of this world.
He just has a presence in the batter's box as somebody that looks like a dangerous hitter. It certainly makes good on that look a lot of the time. Takes outside here, ball 1. Really picked things up this season since moving to that leadoff spot. He's hitting over 300 since moving there, and he's been in that spot in 25 of the team's last 31 games now. 1-1. Hammered into the gap in right field. Logan will not get there. Nearly was on it with a dive. And Stanford has runners on first and second. Oh, I thought we might see a special defensive play there for a moment, but it bounced in and out of Logan's glove, and Stanford's got 2 on.
Hey, you can see the athleticism from Logan. It was a good effort, but how about this for Sasaki now? 3 for 3 today. And listen, maybe 2 of them he's been helped out a bit, perhaps. It could have been outs. You look especially to left field, his 2 RBI shot a bit earlier in the game. No complaints from Sasaki.
Just the fact that Brandon Logan even got anywhere near that ball is impressive.
Yeah, well, as I said, you can see he's a safety, too, for this Notre Dame football team as well in the fall.
He's got big-time range out there.
Yeah, those skills translate, especially in center.
Quick conference at the mound between Hirsch and Quattrani. Irish have one arm up in the bullpen. It's a right-hander. First 2 innings so far today. Fires back to second and hits the runner. But right there to back it up is Andrew Graham. Another lucky break for Notre Dame.
I was just about to say perhaps a lucky bounce, and it is Dylan Singleton who is out armed getting ready in the bullpen for the Irish. We'll take another look at it here as Notre Dame almost makes matters worse.
And now another conference at the mound. We'll see if this might be the end of the day for Xavier Hirsch. Situation right now, 2 on and nobody out. It's Cord McDonald, the number 2 hitter for Stanford. Philip Chong is on second base. Rintaro Sasaki is on first.
It does look like the lefty, Dylan Singleton, who is coming in.
Yep, we'll get a pitching change here as Singleton comes out of the Irish bullpen. We'll see him next after this.
Innings, but 5 strikeouts in that one. That tied his career and season high, of course, with him being a freshman, one of the many young arms on this Notre Dame team.
First batter he faces is Cord McDonald, who squared to bunt there, but couldn't get it down. No balls and 1 strike. And this pitch outside, 1-1.
Yeah, McDonald, a tough guy for Singleton to step up against coming into this one. He's hit safely in 7 of his last 8 games, 16 of the last 21. Just Mr. Consistency for this Stanford team.
1-1 now. And he drops it down, foul. Fell out of the batter's box anyway. It's 1-2.
You know, I see the intention here, the turf monster playing a factor as well, but it's an interesting maneuver, the bunt with Sasaki on first. He's not known to be the fastest guy in the world. Maybe they try to go for the out at third with Chong, but he's got some speed.
1-2 now. McDonald squaring to bunt with 2 strikes. Now he pulls back and slashes one into center field for a base hit. Ball gets away from Logan at center. Chong's going to get the wave around and score. Oh, it looked like Chong was going to get held at third, but after the bobble from Logan at center field, Stanford plates another.
lot of self-inflicted errors for Notre Dame today. Once more in center from Brandon Logan. You go back to Drew Berkland a bit earlier in the game as well. That brought in 2 runs for Stanford. And against an offense that is as potent as Stanford, you really cannot allow that to happen. It's unlucky, and it's a tough break for the Irish.
Now it's Teddy Tokheim with 2 runners on. That hit scored a run, so 5-1 Stanford. One to 0 now, and Tokheim swings and misses. Count even at 1. Inside, ball 2.
Tokheim a bit earlier in the season, a 25-game on-base streak, no snapped in about mid-April. It's just absurd for a freshman.
Swings and misses here, 2-2. He has some very impressive stats for Tokheim. He's got hits in 29 of the team's 36 games that he's played in this season, and extra base hit in 18 of 36. He waits on the 2-2 and takes inside, ball 3. Tokheim can do some real damage here with 2 runners on and nobody out. Stanford already a 4-run lead. Tokheim waits and fouls one off. Well out of play. Eric Gian will bat next for Stanford. And Tokheim swings and misses. Good pitch from Dylan Singleton, and there's 1 out in the 4th.
A beautiful start for Singleton, exactly what he needed as he stepped into this game. Up in the zone. Tokheim's not a guy who usually goes down swinging like that.
He gives way to Eric Gian, 0 for 2 today. Strike out to pop out. And he takes outside, ball 1. Gian, the last hitter before a stretch of hitters for Stanford who all have at least 1 hit today. Swings and misses, 1-1. The throw to third in time. A strike from Mark Quattrani thwarts the double steal attempt, and there's 2 out.
And Quattrani, one of the most versatile players on this Notre Dame team, behind the dish with a great eye and great delivery too. It was an area in which Notre Dame struggled yesterday.
So Stanford has now had a runner thrown out stealing and a runner picked off. Now a throw back to second base, not close. 2 out now for Gian and only 1 on. Stanford a 4-run lead. One and one coming from Singleton. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
.78 there from Singleton. A nice off speed.
1-2 coming. Singleton trying to get out of trouble. This one bounced up the middle. Singleton is right there. A flip on to first, and that's the inning. Singleton comes in a tough spot, but navigates his way out of it. Will into the bottom of the fourth with Stanford 5 and Notre Dame 1. And this one of them here at Notre Dame. Look at the dogs. It's Bark in the Park Day here in South Bend, and a number of people have braved the cold to bring the pups out. Chris, I know you're a fan of this.
Oh, I love it. I mean, I got a grin on my face. This is always good to see. And look at those furry friends joining us here at Frank Eck Stadium.
I think if I brought my dog out here, she would just want to chase the ball. I respect how well behaved these dogs are in the stands.
And mine would be barking. It would be annoying all the players. It would be annoying me too, so I wouldn't bring them out.
Quattrani swings and misses. It's 1-1. It was a good scene, though, at Bark in the Park Day for Notre Dame. And Quattrani swings and misses at the slider, 1-2. Quattrani reached on an error in the first. And on the mound for Stanford, still Torrin O'Haron, who has cruised through 3 innings after a little bit of traffic in the first inning. But he's retired 8 straight since. Quattrani fouls one back. Stays 2-2.
Yeah, 4 strikeouts as well for O'Haron. That ties his season high, which was set, of course, a week ago against Florida State.
2-2. Liner through the left side, base hit. Hard hit ball from Quattrani, and that's Notre Dame's first hit of the day.
I thought maybe Charlie Bates, the shortstop, is going to be able to make the play for Stanford. A tough bounce for him, though, unable to corral it. And that allows Quattrani to get the first.
Now it's Dylan Passo, the freshman 4-hitter and first baseman.
Yeah, Passo with the RBI earlier in this game, just put the ball in play. And
now bounces one back off the middle. It's off the glove of O'Haron, who fires to first, not in time. Good job by Sasaki to stay in front of the low throw and keep the Notre Dame runners where they are. But the Irish have 2 on with nobody out.
Yeah, to your point right there, Sasaki does a really tremendous job. See Passo moving, just able to shift his body as well. Perhaps a better throw from O'Haron results in an out here. Just trying to bounce the ball along the turf. And it's a real tough skill. Not able to execute.
That's a tough play, though.
No doubt about it.
And again, a good job by Sasaki to keep that ball in the infield. Jace Lee now for Notre Dame. Takes a pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. Lee takes high, ball 1.
Jace Lee is someone who's impressed me a lot this year. Just his jump from last season, right? A year ago, he was hitting 208. Now you see there, 296. It's a huge improvement.
Did he hold back? No, he did not. 1-2. Well, he's a fun player to watch play, Chris. Plays a good right field, got a big arm, and he's taken away home runs in the past up against the fence. He's got a lot of power, and he's a guy with a great story and a lot of improvement, as Sean Stifler really did not like that check swing call. And comes out to talk to Jace Lee for a moment.
We saw the improvements there as well. 48 hits on the year, and Jace Lee wasn't a big fan of the call either. You could see visibly frustrated.
Take a look at the check swing here. What do you think, Chris?
That one is pretty high, and I'll tell you what, Jace Lee's got every right to be frustrated.
He absolutely did go around there. So 1-2 to Lee.
I think perhaps after taking another look too, frustrated at himself, right?
Lee 256 this season with runners on. And he fouls one off. It stays 1-2. Notre Dame just 1 of 12 as a team today. They're 0 of 5 collectively with runners on. They've had just 2 at-bats with runners in scoring position, but they're 0-2 in that situation as well. Lee waits on another 1-2. And lines one into the gap in right field. That's going to be down for a base hit. Quattrani scores from second. Hasso goes to third. Lee trying to get to second. He is out. Great throw from Chong in right field to nab Lee as he tried for an extra base.
And look at this once more from Chong. Out in right, it's a really nicely worked piece of hitting after a tough at-bat for Chase Lee, right? Just 2 pitches before, he was frustrated with that check swing, and then he's able to bring home Quattrani, who was absolutely moving. Perhaps a bit greedy there from Chase Lee. Maybe could have put the stop sign up at first, but it's worth a shot, worth an attempt. No outs, might as well give it a go.
Tricky to be thrown out there in a 4-run ball game at the time. 3 now after Quattrani scores. And I wonder if this might be the end of the line for Torin O'Haron. Gives up his first earned run of the day after 3 1/3. And a lot of movement in that Stanford bullpen, as there has been all afternoon. Conference on the mound right now. Our home plate umpire Jose Matamoros walks out there to break things up. It'll be Andrew Graham coming to the plate for Notre Dame whenever our next pitch is thrown. Graham was on base 3 times yesterday as the designated hitter, but struck out swinging in the second. Now we'll add a coach to the equation in terms of our meeting on the mound. And it will indeed be a pitching change for Stanford. Torin O'Haron's day is done after 3 innings. He gives up 1 earned run, and Stanford leads it 5-2 in the bottom of the 4th. More action after this on the ACC Network Extra. Chris, he threw a scoreless inning last night and right back on the mound for Stanford.
Yeah, 2 strikeouts and a walk in 1 inning pitched yesterday. Cohen Gomez really had a solid outing, and then once he was replaced, that's when things really started to go haywire a little bit, or haywire, should I say, for Stanford. Interesting to see how he feels, especially his arm. Listen, only 1 inning, not too much work, but this is a team that pitches by committee. Average about 5 to 6 pitchers a game.
They used 5 last night. Gomez just number 2 so far. 1-1 now to Andrew Graham. Graham 0 for 1 with a strikeout today. Just 13 at-bats for him on the season, although 4 hits in those 13 tries. Takes low, 2-1.
How about Torin O'Haron, though? 3 1/3 innings pitched, 1 earned run. I think you can't complain if you're Coach Esker. You can't ask for much more from your starter.
Yeah, got to give him a lot of credit. And the breaking ball in there for strike 2.
And I've noted this before, but that's O'Haron's longest appearance of the year, and he's a guy who's played a lot of baseball. Exactly the kind of performance they were hoping to get out of him.
2-2, lined into left field, down the line, down for a hit. Notre Dame scores a run. It's now 5-3. Graham trying for second base, and he is out. For the second time in the inning, an outfield assist from Stanford. It's now 2 2 days from Jimmy Nadai, and there's 2 out.
Well, not just for the second time this inning. This is back-to-back. I mean, it was Chase Lee 1 at-bat ago. And Notre Dame maybe going to have to rethink her base running just a little bit more. Hey, all of a sudden we got a 5-3 game. The Irish have done well this inning to claw back and make this one tight.
1-0 now to Mason Barth. Now to Barth. Outside, ball 2.
It's interesting. 2-run differential. Stanford, though, out hitting Notre Dame 11-4 today. Irish really starting to heat up here, though. In the bottom of the 4th. Yesterday, they put up their first run of the day. The game they won in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, they're 4 for 4 in the inning so far. Their only 2 outs have been when they've tried to stretch singles into doubles and been thrown out at second base. Philip Chong in right field throwing out Chase Lee. And then Jimmy Nadai in left field throwing out Andrew Graham. 3-1 now to Mason Barth. Jamie Z with bat next. Barth chops one down the third base line. Moran is there. Throw on to first. In time. Out number 3, but not before Notre Dame plates 3. Stanford leads it 5-3 after 4. Jack Riddell has not struggled for that at all this season. We saw a great example of that last night. 7 strong for him.
Yeah, he's a legitimate MLB prospect for good reason. Jack Riddell, one of the best pitchers in the country. Last night, his best performance of the season in my eyes. 12 punch-outs in that game that tied a career high. Only 5 hits and 2 walks. That was a big thing. Not many free bases at all for Stanford. Really limited their production. Just another terrific performance from Riddell. It seems like we've said that throughout the entirety of the season.
Every time Notre Dame has seemingly needed a quality start from him, he's delivered. And 7 strong last night. Certainly more the norm than it is rarity. Owen Singleton still on the mound for the Irish. He navigated a tricky 4th inning and allowed 1 hit and 1 inherited run to score.
It was Quattrani behind the dish, though, who really starred in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, throwing out the runner at third base. We've seen a lot of runners thrown out on the base paths today, Chris. 4. 2 for Notre Dame, and then a caught stealing and a pickoff for Stanford.
I think both teams have been greedy at times, even with Sasaki trying to steal third last inning. Sasaki is not known to be your speedster, right? He's a power hitter on this team. He's got all the strength in the world. It was an interesting move and ended up getting Notre Dame out of the inning.
Fouls one off well out of play down the right field line. And it stays 1-2. Nadai 1 for 2 today, a hard line out in the second and then a single in the third. Also came around to score. Tops one foul and it stays 1-2. Part of the Stanford lineup that has been really effective today. He's 1 for 2. Behind him, Charlie Bates 2 for 2. J.J. Moran, the 7th hitter, 1 for 1, and the 8th hitter, Luke Lavin, 1 for 2. Singleton's 1-2, again fouled off, and we'll do it again.
It's kind of the opposite of yesterday's game. That's the part of the order on Friday that Notre Dame found a lot of success with, right? Starting with Brustevich. Just trickling down there.
I think the tricky part of this game, if you're Stanford, as Nadai loops one into shallow center field. Logan comes in and makes the play. I think the tricky part of this game, if you're Stanford, is you lead by only 2 runs, and it feels like so much more than that.
Yeah.
Look at the disparity in the hit counter and the opportunities they've had. It feels like they should be winning by more.
It does. I mean, it really does. They've been the better team today. Just production they've been able to get. I mean, top of the order, we don't talk about him and the day he's had, the 2 guys. I mean, 1 and 2 hitters, Sasaki and McDonald.
Excuse me, check swing right back to Singleton, 2 out in the 5th.
For those 2 guys, 5 for 5 collectively today.
Singleton not having much trouble with this part of the order right now, though. J.J. Moran now doubled in the 2nd inning, then a sac fly in the 3rd. He digs in with 2 outs and nobody on in the top of the 5th. Stanford, one of the best teams in the country, collectively hitting with 2 outs. Coming into the weekend, they were hitting .263 as a team. Thing to watch. Notre Dame has done a pretty effective job thus far this weekend, and maybe the weather has played a part in this as well, limiting the long ball for Stanford. As Moran takes inside. Coming into this weekend, Stanford had homered in 29 of their last 33 games, and through 14 innings so far, they do not have one.
To your point, I do think the weather has played a factor. There's been a couple of times that maybe on a different day here in South Bend, it goes yard. Just the situation that they're playing with. We noted this yesterday too. In Palo Alto right now, I mean, 70 degrees. It's quite the shift from sunny California.
2-2. Two outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Singleton trying to get through 2 innings and give his team a chance to hit in the 5th. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Dylan Singleton again delivers a big strikeout. And he's through 2 scoreless here in South Bend. Good pitching from the freshman. Thrown out at second base twice. That's what happened to Notre Dame despite scoring 3 runs in that productive 4th inning.
Yeah, a really odd scenario and scene of events for the Irish. You look to Chase Lee and then you look to Andrew Graham right here as you see on the screen. Both get called out in that second, getting a little bit gritty. And then the team comparisons today. I mean, it's a 5-3 game. It's a pretty tight contest. However, Stanford out hitting the Irish 11-4. You can see the Stanford team have been a lot more potent offensively, Jack. They just really haven't found the success to match it, in the runs department.
And a new pitcher on the mound for Stanford. It's Sam Gerwal, the senior from San Diego.
Yeah, he's 6'5", 243. This guy is an absolute unit. And a real imposing frame on the mound. This season, a 7.40 ERA, but he's got 24 1/3 innings pitched, so he's one of the more trusted arms on the team. 31 strikeouts to 8 walks. Not too shabby for him.
He looks to hold Notre Dame where they are and preserve a 2-run lead for Stanford. Just going back to that comparison real quick, Chris, we mentioned it in the last inning, but this game is certainly much closer than it feels.
Yeah, it really is, and it's funny too because if Notre Dame, just stays at first, and you get Jace Lee on first, and then he gets to second, right, as Andrew Graham goes to first, and they just hold their own. They say, all right, let's not try to stretch these singles into doubles, and we could be seeing a 5-5 game. You get Mason Barth, maybe he puts the ball in play, a different, and something else happens, but I think Notre Dame will be a bit frustrated. They didn't get out of that inning with more runs, even though they're able to make this game 5-3.
Garwal misses low here with a fastball. It's 1-0. Jamie Z will lead things off in the 5th for Notre Dame. Brandon Logan and Drew Berkland will bat behind him. Z hitting .308 this year as the leadoff man in a given inning. And that's what he looks to do here. 2 balls and no strikes. He's ahead on Garwal. And he takes a high strike here, 2-1. Infield playing a little bit of a shift on Z. Only one player to the backside as he fouls this off, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to Jamie Z. Garwal misses outside, full count. Pretty good at bat here from the freshman. He waits on a full count pitch and skies it into shallow center field. Chong calls off the center fielder McDonald and makes the catch. 1 down here in the 5th.
Good start from Garwal, a guy who is also familiar with the area. It's been his first year at Northwestern. He knows about this Midwest weather better than most guys on this Stanford squad.
Brandon Logan now, the center fielder. Takes inside, ball 1.
It'd be big for Brandon Logan to have a good at-bat. He's had a few issues out in center field for the Irish. Just needs to gain a little bit of confidence. Maybe he can get that at the plate.
Squares to bunt and fouls it back. 1-1. Maybe not a bad idea there for the speedy Logan trying to bunt for a hit. One to Logan. And he swings and misses at a good breaking pitch, 1-2. One and two now to Brandon Logan. Hard and foul down the left field line. Remains 1-2. Logan grounded out back in the 3rd. Trying to get on here with 1 out in the 5th. Takes inside, 2-2. Garwal, not a guy that issues a lot of free passes. Just 8 walks and 24 2/3 innings pitched this year. 2-2 now. And Logan takes low, ball 3. So back-to-back full counts to begin Sam Garwal's outing. Z flight out. What will Logan do? Foul it off. And we'll do it again.
Way to stay alive for Brandon Logan.
Doing a good job to fight off some pitches here. And the freshman's having himself a pretty good at bat. 3-2 on the way. Again, fouled off. It's exactly what you said, Chris. You said maybe the Irish needed a good at-bat from Logan. And I think this certainly qualifies.
Oh, it does. And they need it both as a unit and then for Logan individually.
9th pitch of the at-bat coming here. Hold, down the line, Moran, 1 out. Second ground out to 3rd of the day for Brandon Logan.
Yeah, well, it was a good job from Garwal just to induce the contact right there or bring it in. And Logan unable to find much power behind it. Two quick-ish outs, should I say, for Garwal.
Here's Drew Berkland now with 2 out, nobody on. Walked in the first and a ground out to short in the third. Takes on the inside corner, strike 1. Garwal, for the most part, early in this outing, has located the fastball pretty well. He likes that inside half of the plate. Here's the 0-1. Fouled back, 1-1. Excuse me, stays 0-1. 0-2. Two out to Berkland. Swing and a miss. Right back into the glove. 3 up and 3 down for Sam Garwal. Great pitching here as he puts down C, Logan, and Berkland in order. 6th inning coming up next.
For the breakaway.
Who will emerge? We'll see.
ACC tournament coming up next on the ACC network and the ESPN app. ACC, one of college baseball's premier conferences, so much top-end talent all across the board. And Chris, both of these coaches really emphasized how difficult a conference this is to play in, how challenging a conference this is to play in, and how talented all these teams are.
They said it's like playing a super regional every single weekend. It's unforgiving. The season's long. You got to stay mentally sharp throughout.
Swing and a miss there from Luke Lavin. It's 1-2. Singleton sets on the rubber. 1-2 pitch coming. Misses outside, 2-2. Luke Lavin, the 8-hitter for Stanford, and the catcher. He's 1 for 2 today. Singled in the second, grounded out in the third. And he slashes one the other way for another base hit. He's 2 for 3. So Lavin is on as the leadoff man for Stanford here in the 6th. And we take a look around the ACC at the conference standings.
Yeah, really interesting here. As you said, a lot of top-end talent. Now, Stanford coming off of a big series sweep against Florida State, who are one of the top teams in the conference, but so many teams right neck and neck with the Cardinal, who have 10 wins. Meanwhile, the Irish with 9, with another win, can match Louisville's win tally.
Stanford really trying to move up into those top 8 spots in the conference. We mentioned this today, but that would give them a first-round bye in the ACC tournament. Notre Dame will likely have to play their way through the bracket. Chalk squared to bunt there with a runner on first and nobody out. Fouled it back.
Even for Notre Dame, if you can't get the bye, there's still so much to play for in terms of seeding in itself, right? You want to give yourself the best possible matchup, most favorable matchup heading into the tournament.
Absolutely. 0-1 coming. And a throw back to first. And for both of these teams, Chris, like we mentioned a couple innings ago, it's not just the ACC tournament, it's the NCAA tournament as well.
The Irish, they have an ace in Jack Riddell. Gives them a good chance to maybe turn some heads in the tournament. Meanwhile, for Stanford, this is a team that has been red hot as of late. Before the loss yesterday, 6 wins in a row, 3 walk-off wins in a row. It's just unheard of. They got tons of talent. Talked about it a whole lot. All these guys on the team.
Bunt popped up foul, and it's 1-2.
I look to Sasaki, and Eric Gian has had a great season himself. Court McDonald. So many players that can make a real great impact on this Cardinal squad.
Certainly a lot of talent up and down the lineup for the Cardinal. 1-2 coming to Chong. He squares to bunt with 2 strikes and pulls back 2-2. See if he actually does try and drop one down with 2 strikes. He's got 1 runner on in Luke Lavin. Not a ton of speed out there at first. And a short lead. Chong squares to bunt and pops it up, foul, strike 3. Gutsy to try and get one down with 2 strikes, and Chong is not able to. 1 out now on the top of the 6th.
And that's a dream start here for Dylan Singleton in the top of the 6th. He just wants to calm the storm. Stanford, 12 hits today. Everybody has been eating on this Cardinal squad, and for Singleton to come in, 3 Ks so far, only 2 hits allowed. It's been real successful. I've been impressed with what I've seen out of him.
He's done well through 2 1/3. He's only allowed 1 run to score, and it was an inherited runner all the way back in the 4th. Here's Rentaro Sasaki now, who's 3 for 3 today with 3 singles. Count even at 1-1. Luke Lavitt's still the runner on first. Sasaki's average now up to 278 on the season. His OPS now over 1,000. He waits on the 1-1. And swings and misses. Took a big cut there at the breaking ball, 1-2. Home runs in the last 8 games for Rentaro Sasaki. And he swings and misses at the 1-2. Strike 3 on the swing. Second strikeout of the inning for Dylan Singleton.
Yeah, well, Sasaki had 3 singles in a row, and this time he's swinging for the fences. I think he's getting antsy. He wants the long ball.
So Sasaki now 3 for 4. Here's Court McDonald. Who's 2 for 2 today. Had a sacrifice bunt back in the first, then singles in the second and the fourth. This one pulled towards second base. Easy play for Andrew Graham, and the side retired. Very strong for Dylan Singleton. The Irish lead still 5-3. Welcome back to South Bend. Still Sam Garwal on the mound for Stanford. Bino Waters will be the first hitter of the inning for Notre Dame. Stanford leading this one 5-3. Got out to a big lead, but Notre Dame cut that lead to 2 runs. They try and draw themselves closer here at the bottom of the 6th. Part of the order coming up for the Irish. Waters waits on the 1-0. And takes a ball, 2-0.
Speaking of guys Notre Dame would like to see get going in this series, Bino Waters got to be at the top of the list. He was 0 for 4 yesterday. 2 strikeouts in the first and the third here.
Pulls one to second base. Gian makes the easy play, 1 out. So Waters now 0 for 7 in the series. And after a lightning hot April, Waters trying to ease himself into this new month.
Yeah, I mean, it's surprising considering just the standard that he has set throughout the entirety of the season. Was 5 for 8 in the Florida State series, was by far Notre Dame's best player in that one. Had a home run against the Seminoles as well. And even in the midweeks, he was real successful. So, sure, he'll bounce back. He's got the talent.
There's a swing and a miss from Quattrani on the first pitch. 0-1. Quattrani 1 for 2 today. And he takes the breaker low. Quattrani reached in an error in the first and then singled in the fourth. And the 4th inning provided Notre Dame's latest 2 runs. And made the Stanford lead 2 runs instead of 4. 1-1. Again, Quattrani takes low, 2-1. Quattrani, as we mentioned so far today, just a very consistent hitter for this Notre Dame team. Came over from Cornell and has continued that production at the ACC level. 355 his season average now. He hit 380 at Cornell last year before transferring, so a little down from that number, but it's still been a huge lift near the top of this Irish order.
Yeah, it's an impressive mark, especially in the ACC. We've just talked about the talent this conference has. He's doing that against the best of the best now.
And he's doing it while being the primary catcher for Notre Dame as well. This is now the 2nd straight season that the Irish have had a great hitting catcher. Carson Tinney set all kinds of records last year before transferring to Texas, where he has continued his excellence this year. Quattrani waits on the 3-2 and pulls one. Oh, nice play at short by Bates. Does he have the throw in time? He does not. Sasaki couldn't grab it after a long throw from Bates with a foot on the outfield grass.
A nice quick reflex play here by Charlie Bates. That throw is so difficult. Regardless, nice effort from Stanford.
So Quattrani on with 1 out now. Dylan Passo, the freshman, digs in. Takes a first pitch strike. Passo singled in the 4th as part of that Notre Dame rally. Also has an RBI today. That's from back in the 1st inning when he grounded out to bring in a run. 0-1. And he takes high and in, ball 1. One pitch coming. And Passo takes a ball. And he's ahead 2-1. And a quick throw back to first. Quattrani back in plenty of time. Big shift here for Passo. Stanford has 3 defenders to the right of second base and only 1 to the left. That's J.J. Moran, the 3rd baseman, playing about halfway between 2nd and 3rd. Passo waits on the 2-1 and takes a perfect pitch on the outside corner for strike 2. Two balls and 2 strikes now to Dylan Passo. 1 man on base for him. It's Mark Quattrani on first. 2-2 to Passo. And he lifts one out towards center field. McDonald going back, camps out under it, and makes the catch. 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th.
Well, considering some of the errors we've seen out in center and difficulties from both sides in the outfield, a job well done from Stanford just to track down there and get Passo out.
Passo gives way to Jace Lee, the right fielder. He steps in with 2 out and Quattrani on first. And takes low and in, ball 1. Now to Lee. And he takes ball 2. Quattrani's going to get to second on the pass ball. And Lee now has a runner in scoring position. So Lee ahead of the count 2-0 and has Quattrani on second. Andrew Graham would hit next for Notre Dame. Lee waits on the 2-0 and fouls it back 2-1. 2-1 now to Jace Lee. Takes away ball 3. Lee 1 for 2 today. Pop out in the first and a single in the fourth. He was thrown out trying to stretch that hit into a double at second base. 3-1 now. And Lee takes inside, ball 4. So 2 on now for Andrew Graham. Graham was also thrown out trying to stretch a single into a double in the fourth. But Graham raised his season average to .357 with that hit. 5 hits and 14 at-bats for the graduate transfer.
How about this? That's only the second walk Notre Dame has received today. Yesterday, able to get on base via the walk 8 different times.
Notre Dame does not have a hit today with 2 outs. They're going to need one here if they want to score a run and potentially cut this lead to 1 run or even tie the game. Notre Dame's got potential run number 4 on second base and a potential tying run on first in Jace Lee. Andrew Graham, who's at bat right now, represents the go-ahead run.
Only the 10th game, or should I say the 11th now, of the season for Andrew Graham, and someone tells me he's been waiting for this moment.
And he takes a first pitch strike from Garwal. It had been smooth sailing for Sam Garwal through 1 2/3. But now he's given up a hit and a walk, and he's got 2 on with 2 out. Graham trying to make him pay. 0-1 pitch. Swung on. Breaking ball from Garwal. And it's 0-2. Two outs, 2 strikes, 2 on. And strike 3. Got him with the high heat, and we will head to the 7th inning. Stanford 5 and Notre Dame 3. Sam Garwal going upstairs. Singleton.
Yeah, Dylan Singleton has really been fantastic. 3 innings so far for Singleton, 0 walks, and I'll tell you what, all the guys in the bullpen, Sean Stifler is looking for people right now to step up here late in the season as the ACC tournament rolls around. That's exactly what Dylan Singleton's doing.
First pitch strike to Teddy Tokheim, the designated hitter. Tokheim 0 for 3 today.
Look at that. First pitch strikes. I mean, he's attacking the zone early. He's getting ahead. 4 strikeouts to show for it.
Now just 2 hits and 3 innings of work. Has not walked a batter. Tokheim hitting .241 this year as the leadoff man. And he lifts this one into center field. Logan going back, trying to block out the sun, and makes the catch, 1 out.
Yeah, good stuff there for Brandon Logan. I mean, the sun has been a factor all day. You see the shades that he's rocking. He needs them. He's had a few issues and errors out in center field. Important for him just to come up with the play.
Those are some nice glasses, Chris.
Yeah, really nice glasses. I was going to say that.
I'm surprised you didn't show up wearing those to call the game
No,
today.
no, not this game. Maybe tomorrow. Well, take a look at what I'm rocking.
Here's Eric Gion now, the second baseman. And he holds back on the first offering from Singleton. It's 1-0. fouls it off and evens the count and a ball on a strike. Gian 0 for 3 today. A strikeout in the first, a pop out in the third, and a ground out in the fourth. Stanford still hitting .444 as a team. They're 12 for 27. Notre Dame just 5 for 22. And Gian takes inside. Gian steps back in. Singleton waits on the rubber. Now sets it, fires. And misses outside, ball 3. Plenty of action in the Notre Dame bullpen. But nobody on for Singleton at the moment. And 1 out in the 7th. Here's a 3-1 pitch. That misses high, ball 4. And Eric Gian is going to walk his way down to first with 1 out in the 7th. Gian, not a huge running threat. He's tried to steal just 3 times this season and been successful twice. Jimmy Nadai, the senior, will come to the plate. 1 for 3 today. Singled and scored a run back in the third. Quick check back to first. Nadai 288 the average this season, runners on base. Singleton has allowed a 340 batting average with runners on this year. And Nadai skies one into shallow left field. Logan comes all the way in from center and makes the catch, 2 out.
Well, 2 outs this inning, both courtesy of Brandon Logan, the dual sport center fielder.
Covered a lot of ground to get to that one. And that ball was hit very high into shallow left field. 2 outs now in the top of the 7th. Gian on first. Charlie Bates, the shortstop, at the plate. First pitch from Singleton in there for a called strike. Bates 2 for 3 today. Singled in the second, then singled in the third, and then grounded out in the 5th. He loops one into shallow left field. Z going back, trying to get there, and couldn't get there on the dive. Will this score a run for Stanford? Here's a throw from Berkland in left. It is not in time. Quattroni's throw to third, also not in time. So on a bloop hit to left field, Stanford scores a run and puts another runner on third.
It's pretty similar to the RBI from Sasaki a bit earlier in the day, which brought in a run. And then once more, Stanford able to make something out of a play that initially looked like it was going to be sort of routine. Notre Dame's communication in the outfield. Lack thereof, perhaps.
Once again, Chris, it's the middle and bottom part of this Stanford order that's been providing some big-time production.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic point. We haven't talked about it in a second here, but Charlie Bates now 3 for 4, Moran 1 for 2, Lavin 2 for 3, and then to round things out, Philip Chong 1 for 2. All guys having a real good day at the office.
This looked like it's going to be the end of the day for Dylan Singleton, who after 3 2/3 innings of solid work concedes a run in the top of the 7th. Charlie Bates to third on that hit to left field.
And that was important for Stanford to finally convert too. They've had tons of chances today.
Absolutely.
Finally able to extend their lead after quite some time. It felt like this game was locked at 5-3.
End of the day for Dylan Singleton. We'll see a new pitcher after the break on the ACC Network Extra. Here is Radek Burkholz, the senior senior from Colorado, pitching for just the 5th time this season. He's yet to allow a run in 2026.
Yeah, I mean, only 3 innings pitched for Burkholz, but hey, he's one of the most experienced guys on the team. It's his 5th year of college baseball, pitched 44 innings his sophomore year, a few years back. Didn't play a whole lot due to injury a season ago. So good to see him back on the bump for the Irish.
His first pitch misses inside. Well, he comes in a tricky spot, 2 outs and a runner on third.
Yeah, tricky is the word.
And a timeout taken by the batter, J.J. Moran. Moran 1 for 2 today. He doubled in the second and then struck out in the 5th. Also had a sac fly back in the third. One ball, no strikes. Burkholz sets and fires. Hard ground ball. Oh, nice play by Barth at third. Is the throw in time? It is. Mason Barth diving stop at third to keep the lead at 3. Notre Dame bats after the break on the ACC Network Extra. He went yard for a 3-run home run in the bottom half of the inning.
Yeah, it was that 7th inning for the Irish that really sealed the deal for Notre Dame as they won that game 6-2. Much different though. I mean, they were out hitting Stanford yesterday, 9-6. 4 errors for the Cardinal. They did not help their case at all yesterday.
Yeah, things have unfolded a little differently today. Stanford has thoroughly out-hit Notre Dame 13-5, yet they only lead by 3. As Barth takes inside for ball 1. Notre Dame 5 for 22 on the afternoon. But they're 3 for 9 with runners on base and 2 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Barth takes strike 1 here. Still Sam Garwal, who's thrown 2 solid innings today. Just 1 hit, 1 walk are the only 2 base runners he's allowed. 1-1 coming. This is high, ball 2. Two balls and 1 strike to Mason Barth. Here's the pitch. High and in, ball 3. Barth is 0 for 2 today. Flew out to right in the second and grounded out to third in the 4th. Jamie Z and Brandon Logan will bat next. Barth waits on the 3-1. And takes high, ball 4. Leadoff walk issued by Sam Garwal. And Mason Barth will be on first with nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th.
Third walk of the day for Stanford. Garwal had been doing a good job at getting ahead, unable to do so there, and Mason Barth will take first.
Here's Jamie Z now, 0 for 2 today. Big swing and a miss at the first pitch from Garwal. Z struck out swinging in the second and flew out to right in the 5th. Z 0 for 5 with a walk in the series.
Yeah, well, something Coach Sean Stifler has talked about is, these professional at-bats. You were talking about it a whole lot yesterday too, Jack. Jamie Z, a freshman, towards the bottom of the order. He needs to be able to produce one of those.
He went around that time, and he's behind 1 and 2. Barth 5 for 5 on stolen base attempts this season. Here's the pitch. High, ball 2. 2-2 coming. At least in a moment as Garwal checks the pitch comm. Now sets and steps off the rubber. Still 2-2 as Z steps back in and Garwal steps back to the rubber. Here's the pitch. And misses high, ball 3. You just mentioned, Chris, how important a professional at bat is here from Jamie Z. Goes behind 1-2, battles his way back to 3-2. Big full count offering coming here. And it misses inside, ball 4. Back-to-back walks from Garwal, and Notre Dame has 2 on for Brandon Logan. Good eye from Jamie Z on ball 4 here.
Yeah, just inside. Now a big moment for Brandon Logan. Someone we have highlighted quite a bit. Here's his chance to make amends. Get Notre Dame back in this game.
2 on and nobody out for Brandon Logan. And now Luke Lavin's going to come out from behind home plate and chat with Garwal. Garwal's been solid today. 2 innings of work now for him. But back-to-back walks here in the bottom of the 7th mean that he's got a little bit of trouble out there. And have we seen all that Garwal has to offer today?
There is movement in that bullpen for Stanford.
Trevor Moore, the right-hander, up and moving around. And I have a feeling we will see him, and we will. So with 2 on and nobody out in the bottom of the 7th, the new pitcher enters the game for Stanford. We'll see Trevor Moore after the break. Nobody out in the bottom of the 7th. He's allowed earned runs in just 1 of his last 10 appearances, and he's got a 2.25 ERA this season.
Yeah, his ERA has dropped down from his 6.31 a year ago. He's gotten so much better here in his senior year. And there's a reason why he's the man entrusted with the job right now. He's the senior, one of the more experienced guys, more experienced arms in that bullpen. As you said, Jack, big moment for him. 2 runners on, runner in scoring position. And no outs in the bottom of the 7th.
Stanford has the corners in. And the middle infielders back at double play depth. A little conversation between the umpire and Trevor Moore on the mound. Brandon Logan, the center fielder, who's 0 for 2 today with 2 hard ground outs to third base. He waits on the first pitch from Moore. Squares to bunt and pulls back, ball 1. Logan represents the tying run in this game. Jamie Z and Mason Barth both run relatively well on the bases. As Logan squares again, pops the bunt up, but it's foul and off the netting. Trying to set the table for Drew Berkland in the top of the order. Logan, the number 9 hitter, trying to get him there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Moore comes home, and Logan does get the bunt down, right back to Moore, who throws on to first in time, 1 out. So Logan does the job with the sacrifice bunt, advances both runners, and there'll be 1 man on second and another on third as Drew Berkland, the leadoff man, comes to the plate.
Yes, 2 runners in scoring position now, and for Brandon Logan, speaking of guys who are entrusted with the big role right there, executes his job. Now Notre Dame down 6-3. A golden opportunity. Wear those shiny gold helmets too, Jack. Look at that.
Reflective in this midday sun. Two in scoring position for the graduate student Drew Berkland, who fouls it back.
He was 3 for 5 yesterday with an RBI, 2 runs scored. Notre Dame's star performer in that 6-2 win.
Berkland hitting .348 this year with runners on base. 0-1. Is fouled back, 0-2. Bino Waters would be next for Notre Dame. But Berkland still alive here with no balls and 2 strikes. So there, .263 the batting average for Berkland with runners in scoring position. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Big time strikeout from Trevor Moore. Berkland goes down on 3 pitches, and there's 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, how about it? I mean, you need a big pitch from Trevor Moore, and the senior comes in and delivers. The reason why his ERA is 2.23.
Waters takes a first pitch ball.
It's been a tough series thus far for Bino Waters. 0 for 4 yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, 0 for 3 today, 0 for 4 yesterday. But Stanford's going to pitch to him here, even with the base open. He had been Notre Dame's hottest hitter coming into this series. The Irish hoping for one big swing from Waters. And he takes strike 1. Waters, a .382 hitter with runners in scoring position, a .379 hitter with runners on base. He waits on the 1-1 and takes low, ball 2. Chris, wouldn't be surprised if the pitching philosophy here was to throw Waters pitches he might want to swing at, but nothing too close to the zone.
Yeah, I mean, just noticed that 2 pitches ago, thought Waters would swing. I mean, it was right there in the zone for him on a platter. Opted against it.
2-1. Waters skies one foul down the left field line. And out of play, although only just. J.J. Moran came way over from third base. And now 2s around the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 on. Notre Dame trailing by 3. Bino Waters, the potential tying run. Trevor Moore trying to work his way out of a jam. The 2-2. Swung on and slashed foul down the left field line and into the Irish bullpen.
2 straight pitches with contact for Waters. I mean, much needed for him. Just get comfortable back in the batter's box. You know of his talent and what he's capable of.
And there will be no pitching around from Trevor Moore. He's going after Bino Waters. Another 2-2 offering. Misses high, ball 3. Three balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs and 2 on. The payoff pitch. Misses low, ball 4, and the bases will be loaded now for Mark Quattrani. There was an appeal on that half-check swing from Bino Waters, but the umpire said he did not go.
Yeah, it's low. Sigh of relief for Bino Waters.
That's a professional at-bat.
Yeah.
You brought that up earlier in the
Exactly.
inning. That's a great at-bat from Bino. And the base is juiced now for Mark Quattrani. Waters would be the tying run on first. Quattrani represents the go-ahead run at home plate. First pitch from Moore, swung on and missed. Strike 1. Trevor Moore allowing just a 178 batting average this season. Runners on base. Quattrani waits and takes outside, ball one. Well, if there's one scenario in which Quattrani hasn't been great this year, it's with the bases loaded. He's batting just 143 with them juiced, although 340 with runners in scoring position. One ball and one strike. And he lines one up the middle, down for a base hit. One run scores for Notre Dame. Here comes another. The throw from center field cut off. And it is a brand new ball game at South Bend. The Stanford lead just one as Quattrani comes through in the clutch.
Quattrani, who has struggled at times with the bases loaded, as you alluded to. One of the biggest at-bats of the season thus far for him, and none of this happens too without the walk from Bino Waters prior to it. Bino Waters with just a nice long at bat, able to foul it off a few times and give the Irish the chance. 2 outs. Quattrani delivers.
And now still 2 on for Dylan Passo in a 6-5 ball game with 2 out. He's got Mark Quattrani on first, Bino Waters on second. Jamie Z and Mason Barth score on the Quattrani single. Passo takes away 2-0. Passo 1 for 3 today, singled back in the 4th. 2-0 pitch. Misses away, ball 3. Quattrani's single was Notre Dame's first 2-out hit of the day. Wow. Never a better time for it as Passo waits on the 3-0. And takes strike 1.
And it's a 1-run game, yet to your point earlier, Stanford 13 hits today, Notre Dame 6, does not matter. The Irish have put runs up.
3-1. And Passo bounces one into the shift. In comes Gian, the throw to first in time. And we will head to the 8th inning with Stanford 6 and Notre Dame 5. Big hit from Mark Quattrani. To a very good game. Notre Dame's been big with runners in scoring position. Mark Quattrani came through with the bases loaded in the 7th to make this a 1-run ball game.
Yeah, it's deja vu. Notre Dame had a really solid 7th inning yesterday. That was the Mason Barth home run, of course. And then once again, 2 runs. It was previously in the 7th. Dylan Singleton also really impressed on the mound for the Irish. 3 2/3, 3 hits allowed, and 4 strikeouts. But now it's another pitching change for Notre Dame, Jack.
Yep, O'Sheen Lee takes the mound, the big 6'6" sophomore from Massachusetts. 6 straight scoreless appearances for him.
Yeah, and I look back to earlier this season, too. I mean, he was really strong in the Duke series, had 4 strikeouts in that game against Michigan State early in April. He had 3, so for him, it's about attacking early, getting ahead of these counts, filling the zone, being confident, too, on the mound. I mean, he's in a big moment. So just got to keep Notre Dame right where they are.
First pitch to Luke Lavin is a ball. Second pitch a ball as well, and he's behind 2-0. Lavin 2 for 3 today. RBI single in the 2nd and a single in the 6th as well. And now 3-0 to the catcher. Offering from Lee. Strike 1. 3-1 count now to Luke Lavin. That one missed outside, ball 4. Leadoff walk issued by O'Sheen Lee. So Lavin, the number 8 hitter, gives way to the number 9 hitter, Philip Chong.
Something Notre Dame has done better at today, at least better than Stanford, is allowing walks, and that's not the start Lee would have envisioned for himself.
Chong squares to bunt and could not get it down. The ball's in 1 strike. If you're gonna walk somebody, Lavin not the worst guy to walk. He's not a huge stolen base threat. Doesn't have one this season. And hasn't attempted one either. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss from Chong. Trying to pull back the bunt and take a full swing. Chong 1 for 2 today with a walk back in the second. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. O'Sheen Lee comes right back with a strikeout after the walk, and there's 1 out in the 8th.
It's always fascinating to watch how a pitcher responds, especially after coming into the game and letting up a walk. Some great movement on that pitch from Lee. That brings forth Sasaki, who has had himself quite the day. 3 for 4 at the plate.
3 for 4, but all singles for Sasaki, who's much more known as a power hitter than a contact guy. 14 home runs this season for Rentaro. 1-0. 2-0 now after that one misses outside. Court McDonald on deck. Teddy Tokheim in the hole as Stanford restarts the batting order. 2-0 now to Sasaki. That one catches the outside corner, strike 1. Two balls and 1 strike to Rentaro Sasaki. Here's the pitch. This is low and away, ball 3. Back on the rubber. Comes set and fires. And Sasaki grounds one towards short. Oh, and Z couldn't grab it. He fanned on it. And Stanford has runners on first and second with 1 out.
Yeah, well, with a clean play here, more than likely, Lavin would have been out at second. Yeah, that's unlike Z, who has been terrific at short for Notre Dame in these past 2 games thus far.
He's normally such a good glove in the field. But that one just bounced by him. And now 2 on with 1 out. Does have some action in the bullpen. But I'd be surprised if they took out O'Sheen Lee this fast.
I mean, that's a likely double play, too, that you could have had right there. It's by no means indicative of Lee. He'll be staying on the mound, it appears.
Geisel, the freshman right-hander, up in the pen for the Irish. Two on and 1 out for Court McDonald. And the first pitch bounces away. Ball 1. McDonald waits, swings and loops one into left field. Berkland coming over and makes the catch. Both runners will stay where they are.
Yeah, some great movement in left field. There's been some issues out there for Berkland today. On that time.
Sheen Lee now. A look back to second base. Now a throw home. And Tokheim taps it foul. Big spot for the freshman Teddy Tokheim. Had a chance to pad this Stanford lead. An insurance run would go a long way here in a game as tight as this one. Tokheim is 0 for 4 today after going 2 for 4 a day ago. Waits on the 0-1. And loops it into shallow right field. Passo going back and cannot get there. No balls and 2 strikes now.
Much like Bino Waters, back at the bottom of the 7th, you feel as if Tokheim's due for one, or at least to get on base here. He needs a good at-bat.
Tokheim waits on the 0-2 and just fights it off. Stays alive. Stanford has left 7 runners on base today. 2 more out there right now. And Tokheim slashes one foul. Look out in the bleachers.
I can't even emphasize how big an out would be for Notre Dame in this situation. A 6-5 game. Give yourself a chance at the bottom of the 8th to take the lead or at least tie it up in the 9th.
Jace Lee, Andrew Graham, Mason Barnes set to bat for Notre Dame in the bottom half of the inning. This is a high fly ball into shallow right field. Lee coming in and makes the catch. Good inning from Sheen Lee out of the bullpen. Stanford still 6, Notre Dame still 5. College World Series begins June 12th on ESPN. Stanford and Notre Dame in a 1-run ball game here in South Bend. Notre Dame cut the lead to 1 after a Mark Quattrani 2-run single, and we mentioned this yesterday, but Stanford very well accustomed to playing in close games, Chris.
Yeah, they are used to this moment. And it goes on both sides of the coin here. They need a big performance right now, though, on the mound from Trevor Moore. They got that in the 7th. We'll see if he can replicate that type of success.
Jace Lee takes a first pitch ball from Trevor Moore. Lee 1 for 2 today, singled in the 4th and brought in a run with that hit, and then walked in the 6th. He's ahead 1-0 here. And he takes strike 1. One pitch to Jace Lee. And he takes low, ball 2. Lee, a 500 hitter this season, as the leadoff man. 2-1 pitch coming. In there for a called strike, 2-2. Andrew Graham and Mason Barth, the 2 behind Lee this inning. Two balls, 2 strikes. Lee waits on the pitch and fouls it back. Moore has allowed 1 hit and 1 walk today. The walk issued to Bino Waters, then the hit to Mark Quattrani. That scored 2 in the bottom of the 7th. No runs of Moore's own have scored. 2-2. And Lee takes outside. Big full count pitch coming here. And it misses high and away. Jace Lee's pumped up. He has himself a leadoff walk. And Andrew Graham comes to the plate for Notre Dame.
It's probably the loudest I've heard the crowd here as well. A nice little pop at Frank Eck Stadium from these loyal supporters.
That's as good as it gets from Jace Lee right there in terms of drawing a walk. And this is a very good arm on the mound for Stanford right now. Trevor Moore, 2.18 ERA this season and just over a 1.1 whip. Andrew Graham, the senior graduate student, will hit for Notre Dame. 1 for 3 today with a single and 2 strikeouts. Along with Lee, he was one of 2 batters to be thrown out back in the 4th inning at second base. And now a conference here with a couple members of the Notre Dame coaching staff. And Andrew Graham and Jace Lee. Nobody up throwing yet in the Stanford bullpen. Just a couple players at the beginning of their warm-up. So the Cardinal perhaps content to let Trevor Moore have a little more action here. Now, long conference here, but Jose Matamoros breaks things up. And Graham ready to go.
Trevor Moore usually around 2 to 3 innings pitched, so only threw 1. I'm sure he's still got a little bit left in the tank.
Andrew Graham, 5 hits and 15 at-bats this season to go with 4 walks. He dives back to first safely. Graham shows bunt and pulls back, ball 1. Graham, the transfer from Metropolitan State University of Denver. He was a first-team Division II All-American a season ago, and until recently had not seen a lot of action for this Notre Dame team. Graham squares to bunt, but pulls back again, 2-0. Jace Lee at first is the tying run. Graham the go-ahead run. 2-0. And Graham pulls one over the bag, fair ball. Jace Lee getting the wheel to third. He will be in there safely. Graham stops at first, and it's a big no-out hit for Andrew Graham. Notre Dame's got runners on the corners with nobody out after a big hit from the second baseman.
Yeah, how about this? Andrew Graham, his 11th game of the season. He hasn't played a whole too lot with the beauty right down the line. And I'll tell you, that's as good as it gets from Andrew Graham. Enter Mason Barth, who is no stranger to this sort of position. 3-run shot in the 7th yesterday.
Yep, Barth went deep to give Notre Dame the lead yesterday afternoon. Can he do the same some 22 hours later? And he takes strike 1 from Moore. Andrew Graham at first. No, actually a pinch runner for Notre Dame. It's Noah Coy in at first. And Barth swings and misses. No balls and 2 strikes. Jace Lee still the runner at third. Jamie Z on deck. A Pinch runner Noah Coy at first. Lee the tying run, Coy the go-ahead run. Barth waits on the 0-2. And takes outside, ball one. Barth, a .333 hitter this season with runners in scoring position. Although to tie this game, he likely just needs to put the ball in play. Stanford playing their middle infield back to regular depth. And he pulls one down the line and left. It'll go foul. Oh boy, everybody on their feet when he pulled that one down the line.
I was just about to say, the crowd is on their feet. That would have been something. Stanford needs to keep an eye out for Noah Coy right there on first base. He's eyeing up second.
9 for 12 this season on stolen base attempts. 1-2 to Barth. Coy runs. Here's the throw from Lavin. It is into center field. Lee scores the tying run, and Coy stands on second base. 6-6 in the 8th.
Well, that's exactly why you use Coy as a bit of a decoy right there. Stanford not as clean as they would like to be. And that brings home Jace Lee, the Irish. 6 runs. What a response today. And you almost forget Mason Barth is still at bat.
And he takes outside. It's now 3-2. So still a runner on second and nobody out. It's Noah Coy on base, Mason Barth at the plate. Trevor Moore on the mound. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Big bounce back strikeout from Trevor Moore, and there's one out in the 8th. 8th strikeout of the day for the Stanford staff.
That's exactly what you need for Trevor Moore. Listen, the senior is such an experienced guy, and it looks like they're warming up Brock Kettleson in the bullpen a little bit. Don't expect him to come out relatively soon, but he is getting warm at least, firing up the arm.
Z flies one in right field. Chong going back. Did he lose it in the sun? Yes, he did. It hits off his glove. Z's trying to go to third. Here comes Coy. He's coming home, and he scores. Jamie Z, hitless in the series, comes through in the 8th and gives Notre Dame the lead. 7-6 now, the Irish on top.
High fives all around at Frank Eck Stadium. Jamie Z, who has been terrific, that shortstop, comes up on offense. So many errors out there in the field. And look at the speed as well. And Jamie Z, he gets all the way to third.
So now one out, and Jamie Z at third. Brandon Logan at the dish. And he swings, lines one into center field. It's down for a base hit. Z's gonna score, and the lead is 2. Back-to-back big hits from freshmen, and Notre Dame leads it 8-6. Logan jumps on the first pitch from Trevor Moore.
Well, you know what they say, hitting is contagious. This is a perfect case study here. Notre Dame with 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th now. Still being out hit today does not matter at all. Runners in scoring position, they have been fantastic.
And all of a sudden, this is a very different game.
7 for 16 with runners on, and then 5 for 11 with runners in scoring position.
And now Lavin's going to walk out and have a chat with Trevor Moore. First pitch of this game was at 2:02 p.m. Notre Dame was behind in the game for 2 hours and 57 of those minutes. At 5:06, they lead by 2.
Well worth the wait for Notre Dame. Still have their work cut out for them. Work left to do. With 1 out. And their leadoff man, Drew Berkland, at the plate. No reason why they can't extend this lead some more. This is the most important out of the game thus far for Stanford. Just really need to calm the storm. Slow things down a little bit. Get back in control.
Drew Berkland, 0 for 3 today. Walked back in the first. And a check back to first base. Logan back in plenty of time.
Well, the biggest impacts today, Jack, has been the sun.
Absolutely.
In outfield. It's caused all sorts of issues for both sides, but Notre Dame has obviously benefited a bit more from it. Seen it in left, in center, and now in right field as Notre Dame scores.
And here comes David Esker out of the dugout. This is going to be the end of the day for Trevor Moore. 1 1/3, 4 hits, 3 earned runs for him. And he surrenders the lead. And gives way to another Stanford pitcher here.
And I believe it's going to be Brock Kettleson, a freshman, to come in.
Kettleson will be pitcher number 5 for the Cardinal. He'll enter the game with 1 out and 1 on when we come back. A 2-run lead off of some timely hitting. Mark Quattrani came through to cut the lead to 1, and then 3 hits from 3 different players have plated 3 runs for Notre Dame.
Yeah, Stanford haven't fully been able to capitalize on offense when presented the opportunity because they've had plenty of chances. And now a new pitcher in for the Cardinal as they look to calm the storm here a little bit, Jack.
Yep, Colt Peterson, the freshman from Orange, California. He's allowed runs in 3 of his last 4 appearances, including twice last week against Florida State.
Yeah, well, he's not a big strikeout getter, and out of the many pitchers in the bullpen, he's one of 8 who are in between 20 and 29 innings pitched on the season. They pitch by committee, so it's a whole arsenal of arms that they have. Peterson, as a freshman, has fit right in.
Berkland takes his time out. Peterson behind 1-0. Brandon Logan, great speed at first. And he takes off running. Here's the throw from Lavin. It is not in time. Logan into second base. And another runner in scoring position for the Irish.
Well, right on cue, right, Jack? You said Logan, great speed at first. We've even seen his his speed in the outfield today, and takes full advantage of it. Another stolen bag for the Irish.
1-1 to Berkland. Peterson misses outside. It's 2-1.
2 stolen bases for Notre Dame today, both coming in this inning. Noah Coy a bit earlier that brought home the decisive run. And Jace Lee.
2 balls and 1 strike. And now a throw back to second base. Logan back in plenty of time. Notre Dame 7 of 16 today with runners on base. 5 of 11 with runners in scoring position as a team. Two-one pitch on the way. Berkland went around 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the leadoff man, Drew Berkland. Still looking for his first hit of the day. Here's the pitch from Peterson. And Berkland goes the other way with it. Sasaki is there. The flip on to Peterson in time. 2 outs. Now here comes Bino Waters. Still hitless in the series, although he's walked twice. Notre Dame still holding a 2-run advantage here in the bottom of the 8th. 2 outs as Waters steps in. Peterson comes home, and Waters takes ball 1. One ball, no strikes to Bino Waters. Here's the pitch. Inside. Well inside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, for a second, thought that one hit on Bino Waters. Just able to razzle-dazzle his way out of it.
Coming. And Waters takes outside, ball 3. I still can't believe that pitch didn't hit him, Chris.
Yeah, it was very impressive. Some dance moves from Bino Waters.
Peterson sets to fire on the 3-0. And catches the inside corner, strike 1. Mark Quattrani on deck for Notre Dame. 3-1 count, 2 outs to Bino Waters. Brandon Logan on third. Waters waits, swings, and fouls it off, 3-2. Waits on a 3-2. And takes inside, ball 4. Again, runners on the corners for Notre Dame. This time there'll be 2 outs as Mark Quattrani steps in for the Irish. Quattrani 3 for 4 today. Had a big-time hit in the 7th that played it 2. Two on and 2 out for him. And he lines one the other way, base hit. Logan's gonna score. Here goes Waters to third. Quattrani motoring into second. Waters getting the wave. He's gonna come home, and he is safe. 10-6 now, the Notre Dame lead. Mark Quattrani goes the other way with a 2-run double.
Quattrani absolutely tucks this one all the way into right. And all that time allows for Bino Waters to come home.
Five runs in the bottom of the 8th inning for Notre Dame to take a 4-run lead on Stanford. Now it's Dylan Passo, 1 for 4 today. He takes outside, ball 1.
2 big walks back to back for Bino Waters. You look to earlier on, right? Waters
Absolutely.
able to get on base and able to get home.
1 ball, no strikes. Passo waits and Takes outside, ball 2. And again, I mean, Mark Quattrani, another timely hit. Had the 2 RBI single, now the 2 RBI double. And Paso takes inside 3-0.
Quattrani just shows of his veteran status on this team, right? He's a junior. It's a very young squad. Tons of freshmen, bunch of sophomores as well making an impact. In terms of pure college baseball experience, he's got some of the most on this team.
And Paso takes a strike. It's now 3-1. Coming. And Paso swings and misses, full count. Another chance for Colton Peterson to get his team to the top of the 9th. 2 outs, full count. Mark Quattrani on second. Peterson readies to fire. And Paso fouls it back.
It's important to remember, too, this is a Stanford team that is ascending. It's rising in the ACC. They beat a really highly touted Florida State side that swept Notre Dame earlier in the season. Very impressive performance thus far from the Irish.
3-2. Paso pulls it foul. Staying alive here. Paso waits on a full count pitch. And takes one on the outside corner for strike 3. Good pitch for Peterson. Last chance for Stanford coming up next on the ACC Network Extra. 4-run lead. You see here the highlights of how it happened.
Yeah, this is as perfect as it gets for Notre Dame. An error in the outfield. The sun has played a big factor in today's game. And Mark Quattrani as well with an excellent piece of hitting. Every single player on this Notre Dame team has stepped up big, especially here in the 8th. Reminiscent of the 7th yesterday for the Irish when they put up 3, and there's Bino Waters sliding into home. So the crowd at Frank Eck Stadium starting to get into it as well. Great energy all around, Jack.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, here's how it happened. Mark Quattrani, absolutely the story of the day for Notre Dame. He's 4 for 5 with 4 RBIs. And Notre Dame, just as a team, I mean, 6 of 14 with runners in scoring position. That will absolutely do. Now here's Will Geisel on the mound for Notre Dame. He'll look to close things out with a 4-run lead.
Yeah, well, a big spot for the freshman. He's a guy with a 4.41 ERA this year, 16 1/3 innings pitched. Last appearance was against Boston College just about a week ago now. Faced 12 batters in that one. Struck out 2.
Eric Gian, the leadoff man for Stanford in this inning. It'll be Gian, Jimmy Nadai, and Charlie Bates. The 3 who will look to get Stanford started. Geisel quickly behind 2-0. And Geisel misses outside, 3-0. Gian 0 for 3 today, and a walk back in the 7th. Balls and no strikes to count. And Gian takes high and away, ball 4. So leadoff man on for the Cardinal. And Mark Quattrani will walk out to the mound. Jimmy Nadai now, the number 5 hitter. He's 1 for 4 today. 2 flyouts and a single back in the 3rd. Also came around to score after that single.
I like that from Cotrani too, just building up the confidence in his young pitcher on the mound. Never ideal to walk the first batter, especially when you bring forth some of the guys in the rest of this order for Stanford that have been red hot today, especially Charlie Bates, who's on deck, 3 for 4 in this game.
A veteran move by Quattrani to go have a couple words with the freshman. In a big spot here, trying to close out this Saturday ACC tilt. The win today would mean a series win for Notre Dame. As that one gets away from Quattrani. Now to Jimmy Nadai, and 2-0. 6 straight balls from Will Geisel to begin this top of the 9th inning. Stanford 8 for 23 today as a team with runners on base. And now a visit to the mound. Geisel still looking to settle in here. And he's pitching with a 4-run cushion. Still just 1 runner on, although nobody out here at the top of the 9th.
And it does look like Noah Roney, who we saw yesterday, the lefty's getting some reps in the bullpen. Well, don't expect to see him come in just yet, but something to monitor.
Certainly is. We'll break things up on the mound here. Geisel back ready to go. Gian 2 for 3 this season, stolen base attempts. Don't think we'll see him run here, trailing by 4. Two balls, no strikes. 1 runner on, nobody out at the top of the 9th. Notre Dame looking to close out this Saturday ACC game and take the series over Stanford. Geisel comes home. Oh, and he hit him. That eye takes it right off the shoulder. And Stanford's got 2 on with nobody out at the top of the 9th.
As a pitcher, you cannot allow this to shake you up right now. Just need to stay the course, stay strong. Start to find the zone. He has the talent. Very highly touted recruit. Tons of accolades back in high school. But some decisions to be made for Sean Stifler as he watches on.
Have to wonder what's going through his mind right now. As might we see a pitching change here. In any case, it's another mound visit. And it will be the end of the day for Will Geisel. Throws just 7 pitches. And we'll return after this. Noah Rooney will throw for the Irish. Noah Rooney, who picked up a 6-out save last night to close things out in a win over Stanford.
Yeah, it was a good job last night from Noah Rooney, as you mentioned there, Jack. 2 innings pitched in that one, and no earned runs allowed. Did exactly what was asked of him, so 29 strikes, 8 walks on the year. He's placed into a big situation with 2 runners on, no outs. Top of the 9th.
First pitch strike to Charlie Bates.
Feels as if Notre Dame's momentum has slightly wavered, but Rooney's here to change the narrative on that.
Bates waits on the 0-1 and takes it low. Bates has been outstanding today. 3 for 4 with an RBI double in the 7th. One ball and 1 strike to him. Rooney was excellent last night. Bates chops this one towards second base. And an easy play there for Jamie Z, who has shifted over after the entrance of Noah Coy into the game. 1 out.
That's an important out for Notre Dame. Especially Noah Rooney coming in here after everything that had previously transpired.
So J.J. Moran now, the third baseman for Stanford. 1 for 3 today with a sac fly back in the third and a double in the second. 2 runners on and 1 out for him. A righty-lefty matchup. Rooney fires and misses outside, ball 1.
Moran had the walk-off in the midweek against UC Davis for Stanford's third walk-off win in a row. He likes this sort of moment. Who doesn't?
Well, he's not quite the tying run yet. He takes a strike here.
Yeah, but high stakes nevertheless.
Certainly, Chris. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 2 runners on for J.J. Moran. And he lines one down the line and left, just foul. It was close, Chris.
Yeah, I'll be totally honest. I thought that one stayed in for a brief second until you said just foul. But yeah, that is very close. And here's a look at it, courtesy of our great replay team. You can see David in the turf. Yeah, it's a matter of inches right there.
That would have, without a doubt, scored 2. With 2 strikes and 1 ball now. Still 2 on and 1 out for J.J. Moran. One-two coming from Rooney. And he misses high, ball 2. Luke Lavin, the man on deck for Stanford. He's 2 for 3 today. 2-2 coming from Rooney to Moran. Here's the pitch. Just outside, ball 3. Crowd doesn't like it. Neither does the Notre Dame dugout. But it sets up a big pitch. Full count. 2 on, 1 out. Rooney to Moran. Lifted high in the air to center field. Logan under it. Makes the catch. Tagging from third is Gian. And he will come home with Stanford's 7th run of the game. So a 3-run lead now after the sacrifice fly, but 2 out the top of the 9th.
And you can't take any of these routine plays for granted, especially there in center. I've said it about 2 times now. The sun has been one of the key factors in this game. It's the reason why it's as high scoring as it is.
Luke Lavin. 2 for 3 today. 2 singles and a walk back in the 8th. Stanford trailing by 3. Jimmy Nadai on second base. The pitch from Rooney. Misses outside, ball 2. Everybody on the dugout railing for both teams. Ball 3. Rooney sets, delivers, and delivers a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike. 3-1 coming now from Rooney to Lavin. And he bounces one foul down the first base line. Full count now to the catcher, Luke Lavin. Notre Dame trying to win the series. One runner on second is Jimmy Nadine. Rooney will look back. Now comes home. And it's lined into left field. In comes Berkland. He makes the catch. Game over. Notre Dame wins it 10-7 over Stanford. First ACC series win in over 40 days for the Irish. Chris, big eighth inning was the difference.
Yeah, it really was, Jack. Notre Dame put up 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th, and the entire order was just on fire. Then you also got to give a lot of credit to this Notre Dame bullpen. There's a lot of questions besides Riddell. Who's going to step up? Well, Dylan Singleton today had a real solid outing, 3 2/3 innings pitched. Overall, top to bottom, thought everybody on Notre Dame just did their job, did the part, and you got to give a lot of props as well to Mark Quattrani. 4 for 5 at the plate. He had himself one of the best games he's had in an Irish uniform.
Back-to-back days, Noah Rooney picks up the save. The Irish will go for the sweep tomorrow at 1 p.m. right here on the ACC Network Extra. For our producer, Will Bailey, our director, Ben Swiderski, my broadcast partner, Chris Daly, I'm Jack Rinaldi, saying thank you so much for watching, and have a good night.